we start this video, I want to do a little disclaimer. I'm not a professional. This is just what works for us. I'm not endorsing anybody. It's just the stuff we like to use. And please do your research before you go get any animal, and be prepared before you have said animal. I can't repeat that enough. Seeing more and more people just not knowing what to do with their birds when something does happen. Please educate yourselves. Thanks. Thought we would talk about what I have in my chicken and poultry first aid kit. I've been seeing a lot of people ask what they need in a first aid kit for their poultry, and mine needs to be cleaned and reorganized badly. Yeah, so here we go. I also need to take inventory of what I have and what I need, so you'll be with me on that process. Okay, first aid kit. Liquid, ooh, there's the camera. Liquid silver spray. I find this in the kids section. It's hyperallergenic, so I'll use this. I like this spray better because it's easier for me to get it into wounds to try to help everybody heal. Then we have VetRx. This is an essential oil. It's kind of like Vicks Vapor Rub for us. You can put this in their water. You can put this on their beak. It just helps them kind of get that breath that they need. Nutri-Drench. This thing, as you can tell, is very, very used. I actually need another one because I'm almost out. I use this immediately for everybody, and I actually put it in their water about once a month just to kind of give everybody a little extra boost. You can find it at Tractor Supply. Then we have Blue Coat, another very used thing on our farm. Blue Coat does have alcohol in it, so it does burn when you spray it on the bird. Oh, Betty's getting in the feed. I should probably close that bin. I'll let her have a snack. But the Blue Coat, it does have alcohol in it. Pretty much everybody uses Blue Coat for everything. It helps prevent pecking because of the blue color. There's Loki now too. It's gonna be a buffet in a minute. I need to go close that. Hang on. So we use Blue Coat for a lot of things. It's an antiseptic spray as well. So I'll actually do the silver spray first, let that dry for a couple seconds, and then spray the Blue Coat on top of that, depending on the severity of the wound. Then we have more vitamins. Loki. So this one's a poultry cell, which you can tell I use a lot. I also just add this into their water at least once a month. It's just more vitamins, iron, amino acids, minerals, just another thing to have on hand. And then liquid B12. Ooh, focus. Maybe, maybe not. I typically only use this if they're actually in chicken ICU. I'll add it to their water. It gives them a little extra boost, but I don't use it a heck of a lot. This bottle is actually pretty full. What else? My goodness. So I do have antibiotics from the vet and a painkiller from the vet. So these are both prescription. They're both for GIMPs. Thankfully, we do have a vet that sees our birds, and she's freaking awesome. She's kind of my hero. I have, oh my goodness, this is disgusting in here. Hydrohen. Everybody needs Hydrohen, especially on hot days like today. You see how red my face is? It's because it's about 90 degrees in the barn. Yeah. We have vitamins and electrolytes with lacto, can't say this last one, not gonna try. It's a Rooster Booster product that you get from Tractor Supply. I add it to water on the really hot days. Just on the really hot days. I do not give it to them often, just like the Hydro Hen, because I want to make sure our flock is hydrated. I don't want anybody dropping because of heat stroke. I also have one single pack of electrolytes left for chicks. So I only use this when we get fresh babies, like we will in July. But this is kind of heavy duty stuff, in my opinion, because it is Save a Chick. It's really good for right after shipping when they don't have food or water access for a couple days. We have so we have Poultry Protector. So this is also this is really good. It helps protect, I'm reading from the label, helps protect, thank you Thor, helps protect your coop and birds from mites, fleas, and ticks. I find it doesn't work awesome, but is an all-natural product, which I like. I don't like using chemicals if we don't have to. I don't like using any of the medications we have unless we absolutely have to. I will do just about anything to save one of our birds, because I'm very attached to everybody. But I like using this inside the coop if we do have lice or mite issue, which happens a lot, more than people make you think. It happens. But we do use First Saturday Lime a lot. I go through about, what is that? That is a 20 pound bag in under a month. And I order it every single month because it does its job and it's all natural. This is leaking. And vitamins. I have vitamin E, niacin, and psyllium. You know what I mean. That one. So I mainly use these with the ducks. The niacin and psyllium most. Vitamin E is for if somebody's lethargic or if they're showing, I have a bug bite on my leg, I'm sorry, signs of wire neck. So the psyllium and vitamin E are mainly for wire neck when that happens, and that's just a vitamin deficiency. Some birds are more prone to it than others, just kind of happens. The niacin is strictly for the ducks because the ducks need niacin supplement. Brewer's yeast works really well, or they will actually, what is it, bone degenerative disease. They'll get a fever, they'll get very, very sick if they do not have their niacin and brewer's yeast supplement. That's why we also feed peas a lot to the ducks, because it helps. Peas are very high in niacin, and frozen peas are their favorite snack. What else? I have bags of stuff in here as well. Vet wrap. You always need vet wrap. You never know when you're going to use it. I use this stuff for years on horses. I always have at least one roll of vet wrap, and I only have one roll in here. I need to get more. So in addition to vet wrap, we have gauze pads. I like to always be prepared. If you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, you have seen Honey. Had to use these with Honey. She decided to explore and got into the dog yard, which is the dog yard for a reason. We have high prey drive dogs, dogs plural, meaning 5, chicken, fluff butt, and Honey got a puncture wound, which is still having issues healing, but gauze pads, because sometimes you need help applying pressure and getting the bleeding to stop. And getting the bleeding to stop, cornstarch, generic cornstarch. Again, I don't like using chemicals. I like cornstarch. It helps stop the bleeding. Here we go. Triple antibiotic ointment with, ooh, it's not focusing, without pain reliever. I use this when we have bad wounds. I will actually pack this into a wound, then spray the silver spray, then spray blue coat. Just a little added extra layer of protection. She's gonna go up. Hey, kitty. What else do I have in here? I have a lot of stuff in here. Half of it shouldn't be in here. Scissors. Not sure why matches are in here. Scissors, you always need scissors. Syringes, scalpel, which I don't have in here currently. All of our plungers for the syringes are inside because I washed them all out. Yeah. Scissors, scalpel, syringes, plungers, droppers. Just, you never know when you're gonna need something and you don't have it. That was Elvis. Cat food, wet cat food. When I have somebody in chicken ICU and they're refusing to eat, Canada Cat Wet Food does it. And I only do this as a last resort. I like to do mash feed when they're in chicken ICU. And what I mean by chicken ICU is when I have to separate somebody. So I'll put them in a dog crate in a dark, quiet area of the barn typically. And just so they have their own space. Like I had Honey in chicken ICU for 2 weeks. Just so she wasn't up and walking too much. I wanted her to really have the opportunity to heal. I'm getting eaten alive. But wet cat food, super awesome protein boost for the chickens. You only do this every once in a while if it's a very special treat. It's not made for birds, but they go crazy over it.